Today's broadcast brings one of the most historic and long-awaited confirmations ever seen in the global currency and asset community, and every viewer watching this needs to stay with us until the end. What we are going to discuss today has the potential to reshape expectations, rewrite timelines, and deliver the moment Tier 4B holders have been waiting years to finally see. For months, rumors circulated, leaks were whispered, and speculation dominated conversations everywhere. People doubted, questioned, and wondered whether anything real was actually moving behind the scenes. But today, everything changed. The latest government gazette published today has provided full confirmation of the complete redemption process, validated, authorized, and formally acknowledged. This is not a rumor, not a blog post, not a leak, and not another unofficial claim. This is an official statement published through the government's own regulatory communication channel, and, for holders of Iraqi Dinar and other approved Tier 4B assets, this marks a turning point unlike anything we have seen before. This update is historic, it is official, and it signals the beginning of a long-awaited process. Stay with us because what you hear today will prepare you for what comes next. The confirmation released through today's government gazette has done more than just validate the existence of a redemption sequence. It has established a fully structured process that is now authorized for implementation. For years, Tier 4B investors have lived in a world of uncertainty, relying on indirect information, speculation, and unofficial commentary. But now, for the first time, the process has been documented within a legally recognized channel. This places the redemption sequence in an entirely different category from anything discussed previously. It means banks, financial institutions, and authorized exchange centers now have the legal basis they need to act. It means regulatory bodies have completed their verification, cross-checking, and compliance reviews. And perhaps most importantly, it signals that the financial framework required for such a major operation is now fully aligned and approved. This is a major step forward for Iraqi dinar investors who have been holding for years, often facing criticism, doubt, and confusion from people who did not understand the complexity of this process. Today's confirmation shows that the planning has been real, the coordination has been ongoing, and the system has finally reached readiness. This is a moment that many thought might never arrive, yet here it is, officially confirmed. To understand why today's confirmation is so significant, we need to look at what Tier 4B represents. Tier 4B investors occupy one of the most carefully monitored and regulated categories in the entire asset redemption landscape. These are individuals who have undergone verification, documentation checks, asset validation, and in many cases, security screenings to ensure that every asset held is legitimate and qualifies for redemption. This is why today's Gazette confirmation matters so deeply. When a government validates Tier 4B, it validates the entire structure that supports these investors. It means that the years of compliance were meaningful. It means the regulations were put in place for a reason. And it means the redemption sequence is not theoretical, it is a tangible, actionable process backed by government authority. For dinar holders specifically, this is extraordinary. It brings credibility, legitimacy, and recognition to assets that many doubted would ever receive global acknowledgement. And now, as the process moves from planning to implementation, Tier 4B investors are positioned to finally experience the long-awaited transition from holding to redemption. The significance of this cannot be overstated. One of the most critical aspects of this confirmation is timing. The fact that the Gazette chose this moment to release the update indicates that all internal processes have synchronized. Government regulators do not make announcements prematurely. They wait until legal approvals, interbank cooperation, international coordination, digital systems, and physical infrastructure are all fully aligned. This means that months, even years of behind-the-scenes preparation have finally reached completion. Financial systems must be tested, compliance structures must be verified, and international communication channels must be fully operational before such a large-scale redemption can begin. And now that the Gazette has officially confirmed the sequence, it tells us that these requirements have been met. For Iraqi dinar holders, this is the strongest sign yet that the long-anticipated shift is no longer abstract, it is here, appointments will be scheduled, systems will come online, and banks will begin moving into their official roles. While the exact scheduling details will be released through authorized banking communications, the confirmation from the Gazette means that the waiting phase is nearly over and the activation phase is beginning. Let's talk about what this means for the investors who have been preparing for years. Some people entered this journey early, long before global recognition or government structures were in place. Others joined later, following emerging reports and ongoing developments. But regardless of when someone joined the process, the pressure, uncertainty, and emotional weight have been enormous. For many, holding dinar or other assets was not just a financial decision, it was a test of patience, a measure of belief, and a willingness to trust that the process was real. Today's confirmation gives investors something they have not had in years: certainty. The question of legitimacy is settled. The question of timing is clarified. The question of whether Tier 4B would ever receive official backing has been answered. This is a moment of validation for every investor who remained committed through delays, confusion, and countless rumors. Now, it is essential to move forward with clear focus, careful preparation, and attention to every update that follows. Because the next phase will require readiness, accuracy, and proper documentation to ensure a smooth redemption experience. The Gazette confirmation also brings clarity to the redemption sequence itself. A full redemption sequence does not mean a partial exchange, a limited rollout, or a speculative trial phase. It means a comprehensive, structured, legally approved process designed to convert approved Tier 4B assets into their assigned values. This includes physical currencies like the Iraqi dinar as well as other verified holdings under Tier 4B guidelines. The process is not one-size-fits-all. It will involve tiers, phases, and scheduled appointments to ensure security, accuracy, and compliance. Banks will follow strict guidelines that have been established through years of planning. Investors can expect multi-step verification, documentation reviews, asset authentication, and recorded exchanges. Every detail must align with government regulations, and every investor must adhere to the official instructions. But the key point is this: the process is real, confirmed, and moving toward activation. Investors should now adopt a structured mindset, updating documents, reviewing records, and preparing for the official notifications that will soon follow. This is the time to transition from waiting into readiness. For holders of physical Iraqi dinar notes, this confirmation is particularly important. One of the biggest concerns among dinar holders has always been authenticity. Banks and exchange centers must ensure that every note is genuine, properly preserved, and legally obtained. This means that when redemption appointments begin, physical currency will need to be examined for security features, serial numbers, condition, and official verification markings. The Gazette confirmation indicates that banks now have the authorization to perform these checks in accordance with the structured redemption sequence. For investors, this means preparing dinar notes in an organized way, sorted, preserved, and stored carefully. Notes should be kept clean, unfolded, and protected from any damage that might complicate verification. The more prepared investors are, the smoother the appointment will go. This moment has been years in the making, and proper preparation ensures that every investor can take advantage of the opportunity now being confirmed. With the process officially authorized, staying prepared is the smartest step investors can take. Digital asset holders under Tier 4B are also part of this historic moment. Many investors hold their positions through digital confirmations, account balances, or officially registered holdings that do not require physical currency. For these individuals, banks will perform electronic verification during the appointment process. This means checking account identifiers, digital statements, verification codes, and documentation proving legitimate ownership. Now that the Gazette has confirmed the process, digital systems across financial institutions will begin synchronizing in preparation for incoming verifications. Investors should ensure that all digital records are accessible, backed up, and clearly documented. Screenshots, account printouts, confirmation emails, and any supporting documents should be organized ahead of time. The upcoming redemption sequence will move quickly once activation begins, and being prepared will help investors avoid delays or complications. The key point is simple. Whether physical or digital, Tier 4B assets are now officially recognized within the redemption structure, and investors need to prepare according to their specific holdings. A major takeaway from this confirmation is the government's commitment to security. Anytime a large-scale financial operation rolls out, especially one involving multiple currencies and international cooperation, security becomes the highest priority. The Gazette confirmation signals that strict security protocols will be followed at every step. Banks will use secure verification systems, appointment details will be protected, exchanges will take place in controlled environments. Investors must also practice caution. This is the moment when scammers may try to exploit excitement. The rule is simple: only follow official communications from banks, government institutions, and authorized exchange centers. Never share personal or financial information with unverified sources. Never respond to unofficial messages claiming early access. The legitimacy of the process is guaranteed only through official channels. Today's confirmation is historic, but the path forward must be handled with intelligence, caution, and attention to detail. Staying vigilant ensures that every investor reaches the redemption process safely and successfully. This confirmation also carries major psychological importance. Investors who have been holding Iraqi dinar and other Tier 4B assets have endured one of the longest and most emotionally challenging waiting periods in modern financial history. There have been times when hope was high, and other times when doubt overshadowed everything. But today's Gazette confirmation gives investors something powerful: clarity. The emotional stress built over years can finally begin to lift. For many, this journey was not just financial, it was personal, representing faith, perseverance, and belief in a long-term outcome. The official confirmation validates all of that effort. It transforms rumor into reality and shifts the mindset from uncertainty to preparation. Investors now have direction, they have legal recognition, and they have a structured path ahead. This psychological shift matters more than most people realize because it prepares investors to move into the next phase with confidence and focus. The waiting is ending, the preparation stage is beginning. One of the most impactful elements of the Gazette update is its global visibility. When a government publishes information in a Gazette, it becomes part of the official public record. This means international financial institutions, currency analysts, global markets, and regulatory bodies can see the update in full transparency. Such visibility strengthens credibility on a worldwide scale. For Iraqi dinar holders, this is especially important because the international community has often questioned the legitimacy of Tier 4B processes. Today's confirmation shifts that narrative. It shows that the process is real, regulated, and acknowledged at official levels. Global observers will now monitor developments closely. This can influence currency speculations, investor confidence, and international economic interest. The ripple effects could extend far beyond the immediate dinar investor community. With the redemption process now visible to the world, Tier 4B is no longer a private discussion, it is a globally recognized financial event. As we move forward, investors should understand how appointment scheduling will likely unfold. While the Gazette confirms the sequence, it does not provide individual appointment dates. Those will come from banks and authorized exchange centers through secure communication. The scheduling will likely occur in phases to prevent overwhelming the system. High-volume investors may be scheduled first due to the detailed compliance checks required. Smaller holders will follow through streamlined procedures. But the key point is that every verified investor will receive an opportunity to participate. No one is being left out, and no one should rush or panic. The system is designed to operate in an orderly way that protects investors and institutions. The best strategy is simple: stay prepared, stay organized, and wait for official instructions. Appointments will come, and when they do, investors must be ready with all required documents, asset records, and verification materials. Let's take a closer look at the documentation investors should prepare ahead of their appointments. At minimum, Every investor should have a valid government-issued ID, proof of residency, and any original documents connected to their holdings. For those with physical dinar, organizing notes by denomination, serial number range, or condition can help streamline the verification process. For digital asset holders, printed statements, account confirmations, and digital access details should be prepared in advance. Investors may also need secondary identification, such as utility bills or supporting documents, depending on bank requirements. The goal is to minimize delays and ensure a smooth verification experience. Since the process is now officially authorized, banks will follow strict compliance guidelines. Being unprepared could lead to extended review times or rescheduled appointments. Preparation now ensures a faster, more efficient process later. The more organized investors are, the easier their redemption will be once they reach their appointment date. Security protocols during the exchange process will be detailed and thorough. Banks and financial institutions are required to verify authenticity, ensure ownership legitimacy, and document each step for legal compliance. Investors should expect a multi-step appointment that may include identity verification, asset authentication, documentation review, and receipt issuance. The process will be recorded and stored within the bank's system to maintain transparency. Investors should not be alarmed if security personnel, surveillance systems, or secure rooms are involved. This is standard practice for high-value financial operations. Privacy will also be protected. Appointments are typically confidential, and investors will not be required to discuss details with anyone outside the authorized institution. Understanding the seriousness of this process helps investors remain calm and confident. Everything is designed to protect their interests and ensure a safe, legal, and transparent exchange. The Gazette confirmation guarantees legitimacy, but investors must still follow the secure, structured process to complete their redemption properly. One of the most overlooked aspects of this update is the impact it will have on financial institutions themselves. Banks have been preparing behind the scenes for years, updating systems, training staff, integrating compliance tools, and coordinating with regulatory bodies. The Gazette confirmation tells us that these preparations are complete. Now, banks begin transitioning from preparation to execution. This is a massive undertaking. It involves coordinated scheduling, secure environments, asset verification systems, digital authentication tools, and precise communication protocols. For banks, accuracy is everything. For investors, patience and cooperation will be essential. The smoother investors are with their documentation and preparation, the more efficiently banks can operate. This is not just a major moment for investors. It is also a historic operational challenge for the financial world. And now that it has been confirmed, banks will begin activating the systems and procedures they have built for this very moment. With confirmation now official, investors should also be aware of the potential financial impact. A properly executed redemption sequence could transform the lives of many Tier 4B holders. For some, even moderate holdings may translate into meaningful financial gains. For larger holders, the impact could be substantial. But it is important to approach this moment responsibly. Investors should plan ahead, avoid impulsive decisions, and consider financial guidance once the exchange is complete. This is the time to think long-term: financial stability, responsible budgeting, potential investments, and personal goals. Emotional reactions are natural, but discipline will be essential to making the most of this historic opportunity. The redemption process marks a new beginning, and financial decisions made after the exchange will shape outcomes for years. Preparing mentally, emotionally, and financially is just as important as preparing documents and currency. Another major point to highlight is the importance of ignoring unofficial information during this phase. Now that the Gazette has confirmed the process, misinformation may increase. Online forums, social media posts, and unverified messages may create confusion. Investors must remain focused and disciplined. Only official updates from banks, government channels, or verified institutions should be trusted. No one outside the authorized system can provide early access, special privileges, or inside appointments. Any such claims should be ignored. Scammers thrive during high excitement moments like this. The best protection is simple. Follow the official instructions only. The process is already legitimate, authorized, and structured. There is no need to seek shortcuts or unofficial guidance. Staying grounded and informed is the smartest strategy for every investor moving forward. The Gazette confirmation also sends a message about government transparency. By publishing the process publicly, the government has demonstrated a commitment to openness and fairness. This is essential for investor confidence. For years, much of the conversation surrounding Iraqi dinar and Tier 4B assets took place in private groups, speculative discussions, or unofficial channels. Today's confirmation moves the process into the light. It ensures that the process is governed by law, monitored by regulators, and executed under official authority. This level of transparency will help stabilize expectations and eliminate unnecessary speculation. It shows that the government is not only acknowledging the process but actively supporting it. This strengthens confidence, credibility, and trust for everyone involved. Investors can now move forward knowing that the redemption sequence is not hidden or uncertain, it is fully recognized and openly documented. The final stages before activation are critical. Investors should use this time to review their assets, confirm their documentation, double-check their records, and prepare their information. Any missing documents should be located or replaced. Any damaged currency should be preserved carefully. Any digital assets should be organized and backed up. The more complete and accurate the documentation, the smoother and faster the redemption appointment will be. This is the last chance to prepare before appointments begin rolling out. Investors should stay alert, stay focused, and stay ready. The process is moving into its operational phase, and once scheduling begins, things will move quickly. Preparation today eliminates stress tomorrow. This is the moment to be organized, disciplined, and responsible. Every investor has waited a long time for this. Now it is time to get ready. As the financial system transitions into the redemption stage, coordination between institutions will continue intensifying. Banks, regulators, security agencies, and government departments will all work together to ensure a stable, controlled rollout. Investors should expect clear, structured communication that outlines every step of the process. Instructions will likely be simple but precise. Missing steps or ignoring instructions can slow down verification, so attention to detail will be essential. Investors should also prepare for potential waiting periods, especially during the first phase. This is normal for large-scale financial operations. The key is to remain patient and trust the process. With the Gazette confirmation in place, there is no longer any doubt. The system is moving, the structure is active, and the sequence is underway. Investors have entered the final stretch of a long journey, and the next updates will bring them directly into the redemption phase. This confirmation also plays a major role in shaping the future. The successful execution of a transparent, structured redemption process sets a precedent for future financial programs. It demonstrates that governments, banks, and investors can coordinate major financial transitions safely and effectively. For Iraqi dinar holders, it represents recognition after years of uncertainty. For the global financial community, it represents a new era of compliance-based currency redemption. For the economy, it signals a shift in how value-backed assets are validated and processed. This moment is historic not only because of what it means today, but because of what it means for the future. The redemption process will serve as a benchmark for how governments handle similar programs moving forward. And Tier 4B investors are at the center of this historic transformation. The world is watching, the system is active, and the process is unfolding exactly as it was designed. As we close today's historic update, let's recap what this moment represents. The Government Gazette has officially confirmed the full redemption sequence for Tier 4B assets, including Iraqi dinar holdings. This is not speculation, this is not rumor. This is legal, documented, authorized confirmation. It signals that the years of preparation, verification, and regulatory structuring are complete. It means banks are ready. It means financial systems are aligned. It means appointments will begin in structured phases. and it means investors can now move from uncertainty into preparation with full confidence. The journey has been long, challenging, emotional, and at times overwhelming. But today's confirmation marks the moment when everything shifts. This is the turning point Tier 4B investors have waited for. This is the validation they needed. And this is the doorway to the redemption phase. As the next updates begin to roll out, stay prepared, stay informed, and follow only official instructions. The process is real, the confirmation is official, and the sequence is beginning. History is unfolding right now, and investors are finally stepping into the moment they have been waiting years to reach.